Egypt has over 40 seaports. Morocco has about 10, but in Nigeria, only 2 seaports are functioning. Ngo. Okay. In a recent interview on Arise TV, Dr. Franklin Ogo, director of the Public Sector Initiative at Lagos Business School, highlighted critical infrastructure challenges that continues to hinder Nigeria's economic growth, particularly in trade and logistics. Egypt has over 40 seaports, Morocco has about 10, but in Nigeria only 2 seaports are functioning. Ogo stated, "Is it even 2? Abi just 1?" pointing to the stark contrast between Nigeria and other African economies in terms of port capacity and efficiency. It is well. We still have a very, very long way to go in this country. We did back. Emmanuel Academy says, Giant of Africa, being a dwarf of Africa. We not be giant of Africa, we are just deceiving ourselves. We are not. There are a lot of African countries that are way better than our own country. They will not be saying Nigeria is giant of Africa. Where? Gochuku says Nigeria who claims to be giant of Africa with only 2 working seaports. I'm telling you, what a shame. Chinedu Onya says just because of hatred to the southeast region of the country. Which one is hatred again? Is it not the truth? Is it obvious? As Kezuru says, but all these ports you mentioned are all in Lagos now. That's the point. Coffee Obioha says Nigeria don't have future thinking plan. There is not there because I've one-way plans which is on the crude oil and nothing more than that. They block other regions from having seaports to make Lagos to flourish than even the country itself. Who did that? Is Obasanjo. He said if other states seaport functions well, Lagos will be less in finance and the major importers will boycott Lagos seaports. Who are the importers? Those Southeasterners are the major importers. FM Basi says tribalism is the bane of Nigeria. I'm telling you, our turn. Sai Buhari syndrome. Men and women of wisdom who could have delivered this country from Awolowo to Donald Duke have been muffled. Ibom deep sea ports have been touted for over 30 years, but tribalism is buying it. This one says brings the cut of us, which has shallow waters, and so on. Lack of foresight is another crippler. We refuse to plan ahead. It is well. Ayak says the gullibility of the masses makes for the availability of bad leaders. All the bad leaders the way Nigeria they produce. Nobody na vote them. Nobody we vote them. Make now they talk about tribalism and seaports and all other wahala for the country. When election come, una turn dummy and Charlie they run follow people we no get in a time. Not all of us, sha. They take too much strength to lead blind people inside pits. Now pits una dey Nigerians and una blindless and gullibility cause and that's a lie. They rig election. Our votes don't count in this country, so don't make it sound like all Nigerians actually voted for these people to be our leaders. No. They rigged their way in and there was little to nothing that we can do. There was little to nothing that we can do. What are we supposed to do? Our good daddy says there are people that talks about tribe when we are talking about good things. Let's be fanatics. Our leaders are the problem we are having in Nigeria. Egypt have many tribes, likewise Morocco. And they are okay with the kind of good leaders they have. Maurice says the country, Nigeria, full of hypocrisy and greed, is the bane of our suffering. John Obong says we have only 1 seaport in Nigeria, which is Apapa. Exactly, I think it's only 1 that is working. It's not even 2. There's only Apapa Wharf that is actually working. Ogunzmo said I don't get it. Only 2 seaports functioning in Nigeria. What is this man saying? Lekki Deep Seaport is functioning optimally. Since when? Since when did it start functioning? Same with Apapa Port and Tinkan Island Port. Some of these people delight in feeding their gullible ones with false information. And so what's the difference between 2 and 3? Okay, now you said 2 is working and then you counted 3. What's the difference? What's the difference? Abeg, Godfrey says all what you mentioned now is in 1 state only. Is Lagos the only state that have sea? Calabar, Warri, Bayelsa, Rivers, Akwa Ibom. They all have big deep seas. Why only Lagos have up to 4 seaports? Is it fair? It's not. It's not. Emeka Edo says the contemporary crop of Nigeria leaders are always afraid of their shadows because they are paranoid. They thought that opening seaports in East would be dangerous. It's just selfishness that is part of our problem. Because I don't understand why you want to have it all and you don't want other people to have it. Evangelist Osuji says, when Peter Obi said this sometimes ago, my politicians said they wanted to cripple Lagos Seaport, professing to be wise. Their ignorance glares. Every reasonable fellow in this country knows that this country can accommodate at least 15 seaports. This will create job opportunity for our youth. Instead, we prefer looting and depositing in foreign banks. Well, anyone or group that chooses suicidal acts deserves no pity. As Amos Siton says, Nigeria is like a rotten egg where all sorts of rubbish are smelling with an offensive odor. Obe says, bunch of criminals are managing this country. I'm telling you, now zoo country or zoo. Otuben said, but the Igbo leaders are the ones making it difficult for the Southeast to have one. Are you sure? Emeka says, remove support from Lagos and Igbos will disappear in Lagos. At Chinedu says, please, you know that about 605 people have commented over this. But could government do something about it? For it is really hatred that caused this, and also by the unity of the people. Okay. Here it says, what are the consequences for youth? Ignorance, corruption, selfishness, and bad leadership. Obo J says, it's because they hate the Igbos. The Igbos still remains number one when it comes to business. If I'm telling lies, tell me the tribe. At times we avoid the truth because of tribe and religion, but that will not help us. Just imagine that there is a seaport in Onitsha. My brother, I trust wetin Igbos go import and export. If I go fit marry their girl, I go celebrate her. Rashid Ibrahim says, all these travel by God to just be saying rubbish because I don't know who stop people to get one. Are you blind, Rashid? Are you blind? See your head talk, you dey talk. Come on for it. Temitope says, Nigeria as a country is a weapon fashioned against humanity. Nigeria is not a country and it can never function as a country. Peter Ofo says, Nigeria is a joke. They know that some regions will collapse if seaport is opened in south, but now is the time for every region to fend for themselves. This nonsense will stop. Nigeria must be decentralized. Ikechukwu says, wicked and witchy attitude of some Nigerians who claim one Nigeria but worst enemy Nigeria have. But says, the FG, it is big favor for the Igbos if more seaports are open, not knowing they are denying themselves FG huge revenue and development. Abio. Tochukwu says, may God send us help. These are wicked and selfish leaders. God will judge them. Now listen, don't forget to like, to share, to subscribe. Thank you for listening. See you some other time. Bye.